what can Shedeur do? I think it's important to see what he can do this season, because if he's good, then maybe you have your franchise quarterback.
And yet he has found himself in maybe the only situation imaginable where I would be arguing he's got.
He wasn't supposed to be here. Not this early. Not at this level. Shedeur Sanders, a fifth-round pick with more doubters than fans when he entered the league, just walked into Brown's camp and did something nobody predicted. He took first-team reps and didn't just survive. He dominated. One day buried behind Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco and former first-rounder Kenny Pickett. The next, teammates, analysts, even opponents whispering about a seismic shift in Cleveland. Some call it hype. Others see a takeover unfolding in real time. But how does a rookie vault past established starters? And the real question, is Cleveland staring at its franchise savior or a dangerous mirage? Stick around. This story will change how you see NFL underdogs forever. If you live for football's biggest drama twists, smash that subscribe button. What happens next could rewrite the Browns' future.
I agree with Haslam in that obviously you need to see what your rookies can do. And I do think they think of Gabriel as like a backup, like a career backup maybe.
Rewind to April. Sanders sat through 164 picks before Cleveland finally called his name. Scouts hammered his unproven system at Colorado. GMs muttered about project quarterback potential. Even his supporters warned, 3 years minimum before he sniffs the field. But buried in those draft reports, a nugget that'd soon explode. Anonymous coaches hinted Sanders had something unteachable, a psychological edge that turned pressure into fuel. Fast forward to OTAs. While Pickett took ceremonial first snaps and Flacco played mentor, Sanders became a ghost. No media buzz. No highlight reels. Just a kid silently dissecting coverages while reporters asked about Gabriel's arm strength. The setup was perfect. Then, Cleveland's QB room imploded. A twisted knee here. A sore shoulder there. Suddenly, reps opened up, and Sanders grabbed them like a heist.
He's now in a mix where he's getting more first-team reps. I want to be very interested and intrigued to see what he can do with those reps. And who knows? If he keeps performing.
Witnesses describe his first day against the starting defense like a scene from Friday Night Lights. Myles Garrett, a $125 million human wrecking ball, lined up across from him. Most rookies sweat through their gloves in that spot. Sanders, 3 plays, 3 lasers into tight windows. One veteran DB was overheard muttering, "This ain't no clipboard holder." By week's end, his camp stats slapped doubters silent. 78% completion under pressure, Flacco, 62%. 0 turnover-worthy throws, Pickett, 3. But the real shocker? Coaches didn't pull him back. They let him run entire drives. As one insider leaked, they're seeing what we're seeing, and it terrifies them.
The fact that whatever those training camp stats are worth, and maybe it's next to nothing, it's not nothing, and it's not 0% that they're worth, and every time we show him, he's at least in line with everybody.
Enter Nick Wright. On national TV, he dropped a tactical nuke. Sanders should start week 1. Then, he eviscerated the competition. Kenny Pickett, not an NFL quarterback, period. Flacco, a decade past his expiration date. Gabriel, a practice squad arm. Wright's evidence was merciless, highlighting Sanders' camp QB rating, 109.3, dwarfing Pickett's, 68.1. But Chris Broussard amplified the chaos. Gabriel's not the future. He's a career backup, he declared, pointing to leaked practice logs showing Sanders taking 60% of first-team snaps. The implication? Coaches know Gabriel can't win games. Yet Team Brass pushed back hard. Offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey called the hype dangerously premature.
He has found himself with Kenny Pickett, who is not an NFL quarterback. Flatly not an NFL quarterback. We have seen it every chance he's had, every opportunity he's had.
Even as insiders reported Sanders getting red zone packages installed just for him. The disconnect? Palpable. Veteran reactions poured gasoline on the fire. Jerry Jeudy, never one for rookie praise, admitted. His growth since spring? Unreal. Throws with veteran timing. Then Myles Garrett, the franchise cornerstone, dropped the mic. That kid could duel Mahomes tomorrow. But whispers suggest deeper rifts. Anonymous players hinted Flacco's frustrated, mentoring his replacement. Pickett's camp reportedly demanded trade talks. And Sanders? He weaponized the noise. When asked about Wright's endorsement, he shrugged. "I control what I can, maximizing my next rep." Psychologists call this outcome detachment. Teammates call it terrifying focus. Sanders' secret weapon isn't his arm. It's his brain.
Been at camp every single day. I got a lot of respect because his game has really stepped up. He's shown a lot of growth and knowledge of the playbook. shown some maturity, handled not getting reps very well. Everything he's asked in the press conference, he's answered well. And now, with injuries, because things happen.
Behind the scenes, he's rewritten his own psychology. I stopped waiting for permission, he revealed last week. Every meeting I ask, what breaks this defense? Coaches confirmed he studies until 2 a.m., cross-referencing Kevin Stefanski's playbook with film of Lamar Jackson's MVP year. The result, a pre-snap command that made veterans double-take. On Tuesday, he audibled out of a Garrett blitz into a 40-yard touchdown. Afterward, Dorsey admitted, he's seeing ghosts in a good way. But the billion-dollar question remains. Starting Sanders now risks everything. Rookie QBs get ruined by early pressure. Just ask Zach Wilson, whose confidence cratered after facing Bill Belichick's defense in Week 2 of his debut season. Cleveland's opening stretch is a minefield. Pittsburgh's T.J. Watt led NFL in sacks twice. In Week 1, followed by Dallas' Micah Parsons, top 3 pass rusher in Week 2, and Baltimore's chaos-inducing blitz schemes in Week 4. These defenses feast on hesitation. One false read, one held ball too long, and Sanders could spiral into a toxic cycle of sacks and turnovers that stains his development for years.
I'll say just have a deeper level of understanding because I know whenever I get my opportunity, I got to maximize it. So that's something you have to change in the mentality standpoint and the mental standpoint is okay. I just got to think about what I could do to get better.
The Browns' offensive line, already missing Pro Bowl guard Joel Bitonio, isn't a fortress. Last season, they allowed 135 QB pressures. Throw in a green quarterback? Disaster isn't just possible, it's probable. Yet benching him might ignite a bigger crisis. Consider the alternatives. Joe Flacco's statue-like mobility turns every dropback into a countdown. In camp, he took 7 sacks in 2 days against backups. At 38, his arm strength's fading. Deep ball completion rate plummeted to 28% last December. Kenny Pickett's confidence looks fractured. After his 4th interception in 11-on-11 drills, receivers reportedly stopped running full routes for him. His internal clock is sped up, panicking at phantom pressure. Gabriel vanished from relevance. Coaches haven't let him face the starting defense since July 30th. Insiders whisper he's struggling to grasp the playbook, audibling into wrong protections. Meanwhile, the Sanders groundswell grows undeniable. His jersey sales spiked 400% league-wide. Let Shad cook. Graffiti appeared outside Berea's training facility. Season ticket holders flooded talk radio demanding the switch. Even sponsors are circling. Local brands drafted ads featuring Sanders' underdog narratives. The financial upside of starting him? Massive. But the backlash if he warms the bench? Unthinkable. Front office tension is at DEFCON 1. Ownership sees Sanders' viral magnetism as a $30 million marketing windfall. The coaching staff fears his inexperience gets someone fired. Scouts are split. One faction points to Brock Purdy's seamless transition from Mr. Irrelevant to Pro Bowler. Another warns of David Carr's 76-sack rookie year in Houston, a trauma he never overcame. The most chilling reality? Cleveland's schedule offers 0 soft landings. Between weeks 1 to 8, they face 5 top 10 defenses from 2023. There's no ease him in against a tanking team. It's baptism by blowtorch, or no baptism at all. And lurking beneath it all, the ghost of Brown's QB past. Since 1999, 36 starters have cycled through Cleveland. Tim Couch's spirit haunts this decision. The fanbase's PTSD from Johnny Manziel's implosion makes them equal parts rabid and terrified. Start Sanders and he struggles? The stadium will echo with boos by halftime. Sit him for Flacco's corpse? Riots might follow a Week 1 loss. One high-ranking scout framed the lose-lose calculus perfectly. Play him, and we risk breaking him. Sit him, and we break the locker room. But if he balls out, we're gods. If he folds, this regime gets fired by Halloween. This isn't just about football. It's about legacy. Sanders represents either the triumphant end to Cleveland's 30-year QB curse, or its cruelest chapter yet. So here we stand, a 5th-round afterthought turned human Rorschach test. To believers, Sanders is the prototype modern football craves, poised like prime Wilson, adaptable as peak Allen, mentally unbreakable as pre-injury Burrow. To skeptics, a preseason hologram destined to dissolve the moment T.J. Watt's 6 feet 4 inches, 252-pound shadow engulfs him in Week 1. But the tape doesn't flinch. Rewind that 3 RD and 14 against Grant Delpit. Down 6, pocket collapsing. Myles Garrett's hand grazing his face mask as he sidesteps left. Most rookies turf that ball. Sanders doesn't just see tight end David Njoku breaking shallow. He feels Delpit's hips opening toward the sideline. The throw, a 17-yard frozen rope between 3 defenders. Not luck, not fluke, instinct. The kind you can't coach, draft, or fake. Cleveland spent 25 years, $450 million, and 36 starters hunting the guy since 1999. Tim Couch's ghosts, Brady Quinn's false dawns, Deshaun Watson's catastrophic contract. And now, salvation might have been hiding at pick 165. Sanders wasn't supposed to be here, but he is. And the tremors are just beginning. The national earthquake. This isn't just Cleveland's obsession. League execs are sweating. Scouts who passed on Sanders face internal audits. Rival GMs whisper, if he's real, draft economics collapse. Why mortgage futures for top 5 QBs when gems lurk in round 5? Brock Purdy's success was framed as a fluke, a perfect storm in Kyle Shanahan's lab. Sanders threatens to rewrite the blueprint. His rise exposes scouting's blind spots, the overvaluation of combined metrics, the bias against system quarterbacks from non-power schools. One NFC GM admitted anonymously, "We got hypnotized by Gabriel's Oklahoma tape. Sanders' Colorado film showed chaos, but chaos revealed his genius." Translation: when protection broke, Sanders didn't panic, he improvised. Scrambles became first downs. Broken plays birthed touchdowns. Yet 31 teams shrugged. Now Cleveland holds a potential paradigm bomb, the psychological warfare. Pressure isn't just Watt or Parsons. It's the weight of a city's decades-deep despair. Since 1999, the Browns' opening day starters have a combined 21-42 record. The PTSD is generational. Fathers warn sons, don't trust the jersey. But Sanders radiates eerie calm. Teammates leak stories. During a brutal 2-minute drill, center Ethan Posick botched the snap. Sanders scooped it, audibled to a double post, and hit Amari Cooper for 40 yards. No scream, no glare, just a fist bump and my bad, I rushed the cadence. Psychologists call this inverted leadership, disarming egos by absorbing blame. Veterans notice. Myles Garrett now hosts film sessions with him. Cooper texts him route adjustments at midnight. This isn't just talent ascending, it's a culture hack, the financial tsunami. Jersey sales, plus 400%. Are the tip of the iceberg. Local businesses are drafting Shad Surge contingency plans. Cleveland bars, installing 24/7 Sanders highlight reels. Betting apps, Roy odds push notifications if he starts week 1. Adidas, leaked designs for limited edition 5th-round flame cleats. The economic ripple? Analysts project $200 million plus in regional revenue if he starts. Ticket demand, merch, tourism. But the real jackpot? Escaping QB purgatory. Watson's $230 million deal hamstrung the cap through 2026. If Sanders delivers starter value on a $4 million rookie contract, Cleveland could build a dynasty with the savings. The inverse? Catastrophe. Bench him for Flacco, lose games, and watch fans revolt, emptying stadiums and coffers alike. The schedule's guillotine. Cleveland's first 8 games. Steelers, Watts NFL high 19 sacks in 2023. Cowboys, Micah Parsons 36.5 career sacks. Ravens, Roquan Smith plus Kyle Hamilton's coverage traps. Giants, Wink Martindale's NFL record 64% blitz rate. Bengals, Trey Hendrickson's 17.5 sacks last year. There are no ease-in games. No Panthers or Patriots to pad stats. It's a gauntlet designed to shatter rookies. But Sanders' camp tape reveals a chilling pattern. He's better under siege. Against Cleveland's starting D, his passer rating jumped 28 points when pressured. Why? His baseball passed. Sanders was a drafted shortstop, reading spins, reacting to hops. Football pressure? Just another 95 miles per hour fastball to drive. The ghosts and the gamblers. Legends stalk this moment. Kurt Warner bagging groceries before becoming MVP. Tom Brady sitting behind Drew Bledsoe. But darker parallels linger. Johnny Manziel, Cleveland's last savior, crashed in 8 starts. David Carr, sacked 76 times as a rookie, career permanently scarred. Coaches whisper the nightmare. What if we start him, and he becomes Achilles Smith? The 1999 Bengals, bust who never won on the road. Yet delaying invites disaster too. Remember Patrick Mahomes sitting year 1? Alex Smith was a Pro Bowler that year. Flacco/Pickett aren't Smith. Waiting wastes Sanders' cheap contract, and his psyche. One AFC scout nailed it. You draft diamonds to shine them, not bury them. The point of no return. So here we stand, at the collision of hope and history. Sanders isn't just challenging a depth chart. He's exposing NFL dogma. That draft position dictates destiny. That veterans own the locker room. That cities like Cleveland don't get fairy tales. Watch that throw to Delpit again. See how his eyes never drop to Garrett? How his feet reset mid-collapse? That's not taught. That's art. And art terrifies bureaucracies. The Browns regime faces football's ultimate paradox. To protect Sanders, they might have to break him. But to save themselves, they might have to free him. Because ready or not, the storm is landfalling. What's your verdict? Franchise QB or preseason fluke? Scream your opinion in the comments. This debate is nuclear. If you're hooked on football's wildest stories, tap subscribe and hit that bell. Wherever Sanders' roller coaster heads next, you'll see it here first.